Yoga is everywhere these days, on Instagram feeds, in studios, and even in our own homes. But what happens when the centuries-old practice of yoga collides with modern, fast-paced world of social media? Hi, I'm Courtney, and welcome to Mindful Scroll, where we will explore the intersection of traditional yoga and the curated aesthetics of Instagram. Today, we're diving into how social media shapes the way yoga is practiced and perceived by hearing directly from someone who immersed in this world every day. Before we jump into today's interview, let's talk about what makes Instagram such an interesting space for yoga. Through my research, I found that this online community is much more than just poses and pretty backdrops. There's a shared language here, a lexis of hashtags like hashtag yoga inspiration and hashtag yoga life that connects people worldwide. There are genres too, short instructional videos, aesthetic snapshots, and even behind-the-scenes glimpse into the personal lives of yoga practitioners. But how does all of this compare to traditional yoga spaces, like studios or personal practice? To get a first-hand perspective, I spoke with Alex, a yoga enthusiast who has been practicing for years and often finds inspiration from Instagram. Our conversation revealed just how powerful this platform can be, both for motivation and for reshaping what yoga means in a modern context. Alex Curbelo, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today. Let's start with the basics. Alex started her yoga journey as a dancer, which gave her a strong foundation in movement and flexibility. She also shared how her mom was her first yoga partner, turning practice into bonding experience. Now Instagram plays a significant role in keeping her practice fresh and exciting.
I got into yoga just because I was a dancer growing up, and my dance teacher had always just encouraged us to do yoga for flexibility and just other things, and I started doing practice with my mom, and then it kind of just became like a regular thing that I did growing up whenever I had the chance to. I realized that's just kind of my favorite way of moving my body, and it has so many healing properties, and I feel like I just kind of wanted to share that with my following, and I feel like a lot of my friends are on the same page as me and kind of do the same thing, so I feel like it was just like normal to see on my feed.
What keeps Alex motivated is the support and encouragement she gets from her friends who are also yoga instructors. By sharing their journeys and cheering each other on, they've built a tight-knit community that inspires and keeps them going.
So like I said, a lot of my friends are either instructors of their own or just kind of practice yoga or something along those lines. So it's kind of just motivating in the sense of just like sharing your journey and like sharing or seeing their journey as well. So I kind of just stay inspired that way, and I feel like a lot of my friends and I are on the same page in terms of like lifestyle and stuff like that. So it's nice to see like it's happening everywhere and not just like in my own bubble.
Alex also mentioned a unique connection to her local yoga community on Instagram. She told me about discovering a hashtag that's actually the area code for Hartford. It's used by practitioners and studios in our area to share events, classes, and local inspiration. It's amazing how something as simple as a hashtag can foster real-world connections.
Yoga studios that offer different things, for example, like West Hartford Yoga, they offer a lot of different classes and stuff, so I feel like that has kept me inspired to improve my own skills and mindset, but also like hashtags like mindfulness and stuff like that, or like hashtags with yoga in them, but also with the area. I feel like helps kind of promote what other studios there are in the area.
For many, yoga starts as a physical practice, a way to build flexibility and strength. But as Alex shared, over time it evolves. It becomes less about what the body can achieve and more about what the mind can embrace. For her, yoga is a journey of physical and mental growth, offering balance and perspective.
Like finding a peace of mind, but also being able to move your body. And I feel like initially a lot of people come into yoga to like gain flexibility and stuff like that, but like you also gain things like strength and kind of just like a new outlook on things, if not necessarily like your entire life, but like outlook on like how you can get better in certain parts of your life, specifically like physically, but also could be mentally.
When asked what she finds most valuable and useful about her Instagram presence, Alex pointed to the way her feed flows. It's not just about individual posts, but how they come together as a cohesive narrative, an extension of her practice that reflects both her personal growth and her yoga journey. This sense of flow helps keep her inspired and connected to the community she built online.
Things that I find most useful, I feel like would be kind of like the flow that they're going through if they happen to record that, but also kind of just like promoting these different types of practices. I feel like yoga has a lot of depth, so like it's not just one certain type of practice. So I feel like that's useful to like think about when you want to start or when you need certain strength in certain parts of your physicality, but also like mental state.
When we talked about the authenticity of yoga content on Instagram, Alex shared an interesting perspective. She believes that people see it as authentic because yoga has this dual quality. It's both physical and mental. On Instagram, that feeling is reflected in the way it resonates with people. They come away feeling good, and that emotional connection reinforces the authenticity of the practice even in its digital space.
I think sometimes, yes, I feel like I have mentioned that people think of yoga being a very like active thing rather than just kind of like healing in a sense. So I feel like sometimes people kind of make it a little bit more performative. But at the same time, I just feel like it could be authentic in the sense that like people feel good after doing it, and I feel like that's the most important thing in anything you do. So I feel like it kind of has like a 2 cents to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. When I asked Alex about what inspires her the most in her yoga practice, her answer was clear. It's her friends. Many of them are instructors themselves, not just in yoga, but in other disciplines like cycling. Seeing them share their journeys and celebrating each other's milestones keeps her motivated. It's not just about personal growth, it's about the shared support and community that makes the practice even more rewarding.
I think I have been really inspired by, like I've said, some of my friends are instructors in like this certain like lifestyle set. So I have a friend who does like yoga lattes, which is a mix of Pilates and yoga, but also like friends who are cycle instructors, and I feel like that's been really inspiring to me and kind of has motivated me to maybe look through those specific routes, especially towards post-grad, and maybe becoming an instructor myself. I just feel like that's really important to me and could like help me find peace of mind, especially during grad school, and I feel like it's a good outlet for me because it always has been. So being able to promote and teach is something that I have been very inspired by the community I follow on Instagram.
So you think you'll continue like with your yoga platform on Instagram after graduation?
I think so, yes, and I think that would be it'll grow a lot more just because I do want to implement the form of teaching. So I feel like whoever I end up teaching could end up following my account and just kind of seeing that and following my journey and kind of using it as inspiration.
As Alex looks ahead to becoming a yoga instructor herself, she's already envisioning how she'll use Instagram to engage her clients. She plans to post challenges and share photos from the classes she teaches, creating a space where her clients and her followers can feel inspired and connected. For her, it's not just about teaching yoga, it's about building a community that grows together.
I think I would post like challenges maybe, or just kind of like pictures during the moment of like my classes and stuff like that. That's kind of where I see the route of my Instagram going.
From our conversation with Alex, it's clear that Instagram offers both opportunities and challenges for yoga practitioners. On one hand, it's for creativity and connection. On the other, it can shift the focus away from the personal and toward the performative. So what's the takeaway here? For Alex and for many others, it's about balance, using social media as a tool but not letting it define the practice. Yoga at its core is about being present, and whether that happens in a studio, on a mat, at home, or even scrolling through Instagram, the essence of yoga remains the same. Thank you for listening to Mindful Scroll. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us for more stories and insights from the world of yoga. You can also find us on Instagram. Until next time, remember to breathe, stretch, and stay connected to what really matters.
Soundstripe.